Everyone, welcome back to another video on the Inside Special. Happy Wednesday afternoon. I don't know why I seem to check if it's afternoon or not. I always go live at 12 or beyond. So yeah, happy Wednesday afternoon. I hope everyone's well, looking after themselves, having a good day, whatever it is that you're up to. Make sure you're staying safe and looking after yourself. Got a really good video today talking a little bit around the Emerson Royale deal to AC Milan and a potential progression in that deal. Alongside that, we're talking a really, really peculiar report surrounding Will Lankshear and a potential move away, not just on loan, but also potentially a sale. So I want to talk about that in a bit of detail as well. Obviously, answer a few of your questions that whatever you guys have to answer those as well. And yeah, I'm really looking forward to this. Looking forward to this one. Obviously, if you are watching this and you are new, and obviously maybe you're watching this and it's not live, and you're watching this and we've already been gone in this live, do subscribe. You're very much welcome to join us for the journey. And I will always post the sort of more snippet size, sort of 6-minute videos, just quickly, just touching on a few of the subjects, all right, which I did this morning for the 7 p.m. live yesterday, 12 p.m., 7 p.m. every day. Afternoon, Van Gogh, mate. How are we? You all right, mate? Andy Coys. Andy, how are you, mate? Good name, that. Here's hoping this deal gets done ASAP. Yeah, Tottenham, I'd probably agree. Emerson isn't bad. He just needs to play in a different system, which definitely isn't Ange's system. It definitely is not Ange's system. That's for sure. Oh, I'll have to talk about that in a second. I've just found someone else to talk about. He'll do better at Syria. Yeah, I agree. Van Gogh, mate, I agree. Well, I would say afternoon, Peter, but evening, Peter. How was your day, mate? I hope the day treated you well. Obviously, yeah, if you're watching this from the other side of the world, I hope the day has treated you well. All right. But yeah, let's jump in with the Emerson side of things. I think I had it on my phone actually, so apologies. Oh, crikey. Right. Where did I put it? Right. So I had one from the Gazzetta. Okay, I got two, but I've got one from the Gazzetta first and foremost. It said that Emerson Royale's move to AC Milan from Tottenham is now entering final stages of completion. Milan are ready to meet Spurs' demands and reach a fee in the region of 18 to 20 million euros to sign Emerson this summer. So there was that. Obviously, I've got another one to quickly talk on in a second. With the Emerson thing, I don't think anyone really sat here and thought we're going to get 25 million. I always thought something around 20 was probably about right. And by the looks of that, it will probably be around sort of 15 to 17 million. Okay, yes, maybe it's not as good as the Al Nassr 21 million we were offered in January, but you know what? It could be absolutely worse. It could be so much more worse about, who and what we could get from that, I'm back. You have any Kool-Aid? Got some summer fruit squash. Yes, I do, mate. Yes, I do, Madsy. Mate, account Fumph, how are you? Ange's system is the Magyar's system used by the Hungarian side of the 50s. That's some ball knowledge. Southgate to Spurs. Hopefully not. Just starting your shift, Peter. Well, I hope the shift goes well. What time you finishing up, mate? So yeah, there's a little bit on that side of things. The other one I had Emerson Royale was from Fabrizio Romano, who said that Emerson has 2 years left on his contract. Spurs want an important amount of money, something like 20 million euros. The Milan want to pay less than that. Well, of course, if a team like Eze, for example, they were like, right, well, we're not going to sell him for anything less as a release clause, 60 million. Spurs going to go, oh, we wouldn't mind signing him for 50. Duh. That's a really, I'm sorry, I love Fab, but that's a really rubbish, that's a filler. That's amount of filler information where you don't have as much to say. Of course we want more, and of course they want to pay less. That's kind of how business works. My Chelsea and Arsenal mates are saying Ange will get sacked next season. Clueless. We shall see. I would agree. 7 a.m, Peter. It's a long one. Big up, Clement, mate. How are you? In my opinion, if we sell Emerson for 20 million and buy Vanson for 20 million, it's brilliant business. Yeah, I don't know how much Vanson truly is worth, but don't forget we're working in euros. So 20 million euros is not 20 million pounds. Everyone telling me it's crazy out there tonight. All hospital bed locked. Don't know, mate. I don't know what's going on out in Australia. It must be bonkers. Afternoon, James. It's going well, mate. It's going well. I'm not long home from the gym. I had a good session. Uploaded this morning the snippet or sort of punchy news from 7 p.m. session yesterday, or 7 p.m. live. And yeah, it's been a solid day, mate. How's your day going, James? 30 million, you reckon, is enough for Anderson? Well, maybe. It's not outrageous money, at least. So yeah. And the other thing is, by the way, at the gym, I dropped my AirPods and it rolled underneath the treadmill. And I was like, good, I'm going to do some home improvements to this gym now and just moving treadmills, picking up treadmills and stuff. And it was probably a sight to see, but it wasn't very fun for me after the end of my session having to do all that. So there's my stupid self. So there's a little bit on Emerson Royale. Right, I want to talk. I've got actually quite a bit of really interesting stuff to talk about, actually. So I'm going to move on to Lankshear before moving on to some impactful news of other players. So it came out and it said that Middlesbrough are holding talks with Tottenham to sign 19-year-old Will Lankshear, which I said to you guys earlier this weeks ago, that Middlesbrough are keen on him. It's resurfaced. Borough have already made a contract proposal. There is also competition for him from clubs in Europe, with an outright sale not ruled out. This triggered me. This really did trigger me. I sat there and thought, potentially one of our best youngsters, and we're looking to sell him. That irks me beyond belief. That really does irk me. You know, we've not signed anyone. You know, we've not moved off the real deadwood, but we're willing to sell one of our best youngsters. I couldn't believe it. I'm going to wait and see what you guys said, but I was very, very unimpressed with that. Lankshear loan, yes. Sell, no. Lankshear loan, yeah. Good, thanks. Just finished my lunch. Had a jam and butter sandwich for my lunch today. Solid. James, I don't feel like you're having as much with your lunch. What is there anything else? If Fab is correct on one forward, has to be a Pender. 24 and 34 could play across front three. Could move since Cisco staying. Would like a Prem move, and we've been it before. Yeah, I have no issues with the Pender move. Good afternoon, John. How are you, mate? How are you? Now I believe none of the young players from the 20s are going to be promoted ever and ever. Well, they will. Mikey Moore's in the first team squads. Tyrese Hall supposedly will be in around the first team squads as well. Also, Dane Scarlett's in the first team squads. Brandon Austin's in the first team squads. It's quite a few, mate. I would take that with a grain of salt. Paul O'Keefe said no one's working right now since they're all on holiday this week. Yeah, but I think Paul's probably talking more about, like, you know, the Spurs side of things. Championship sides, their season finished a long time ago as well. And, you know, to get a Will Lankshear on their books, they'd be thrilled at Middlesbrough. Instead of spending 50 million on Tony, just get a Pender with an extra 10. Could be a vibe. A penguin bar and a banana. Oh, what was the joke on the back of the penguin bar? Or if you didn't look, James, that's shocking. Hall looks good. Yeah, I like Hall. But the thing is with Lankshear, I'd be really unimpressed. I'll put it to a poll. Let's see what you guys think. Keep loan, sell on Lankshear. Have a little vote in there. If you could, that'd be very much appreciated. Obviously, like the video if you haven't already liked it, guys, and subscribe if you're new. Very much welcome to join us. Yeah, got some really good stuff coming up, potentially not just on this channel, but looking at making a separate channel potentially for more of the low-key side of things, not just to do with Spurs, but more of your low-key sort of like gaming and things like that. So, because a lot of you last night said you were really keen on that, so definitely be something to do. G'day, Persifier. How are we? I've said this multiple times. Hall will be the first breakthrough player from the academy. Technically speaking, I don't think he'd be the first. Out of this new bunch, you'd have to say it's Mikey Moore. You know, he's played Premier League minutes. But I get what you're saying. Him within Mikey Moore, those two together, yeah, tandem. Let's have a look at the old poll. So keep or loan is really the idea here. There is a couple of people I think voted sell, which is interesting. Yeah, I think Tyrese Hall has a lot of potential to be fantastic, to be honest. I think there's a lot of potential to be fantastic. But I also don't, like I said, with a lot of our youngsters, I don't want them thrown at the deep end just for the sake of, oh, they're youngsters. Look at us, we're promoting. Like, make sure they're ready. Make sure the team is ready to also integrate them in. You know, I've always been the guy that says, when people go, things aren't going well, play the youngsters. That is possibly one of the worst things that you can do in all of football, you know. Moore isn't physically ready yet. Tell that to him. Have you seen him doing his boxing training? You tell him that, Van Gogh, and we'll see who comes out of that conversation. I was looking at him, I was like, guy can box. In my opinion, Lankshear needs a loan to gain experience to sell him. To sell him would be disgraceful. Yeah, you've Reg. I don't want him selling him. I do not want to be selling him whatsoever. Selling Lankshear would be a massive mistake. Agreed, Brian. Lankshear, Scarlett, Troy over Leeds. I remember doing that poll, Madsy. And I believe the Leeds one and Scarlett was 2, if I remember correctly. I would sell Skip before I'd sell Royale. Well, Skip has... Well, I think Skip's better in the system than Emerson, suppose. I'd sell Emerson. I don't mind selling Eddie. Not Eddie, sorry, that's your name. Don't mind selling Skip, but, you know, he has a situation which benefits Spurs a bit more than Emerson does. Lankshear needs a good loan, not a career-wasting one. Yeah, well, that's the thing as well. You know, we had some loans last season, like Joe Rodon to Leeds. We had Troy Parrott to Excelsior Rotterdam. A couple of really solid loans. And then we had some loans like the Leeds and Scarlett that just were waste of time. They're better off playing under 21 football, you know. And said he wants to throw kids in with a stable environment. Yeah, exactly, Johnny. Like, you have to build a locker room, a change room that is a positive place, a motivating place, a hardworking place, and also a successful place, and then integrate them. You don't throw in the youth for no... You only play the youth when things aren't going well. It's because there's injuries. That's the only reason why you would. Needs a loan to not repeat a Tanganga situation. Well, Tanganga at Millwall was good. Tanganga at Augsburg was a different story. Edwards for Skip would be more useful for us, in my opinion. Also stops Arsenal getting him. I don't know. I don't see him at Arsenal. I just don't see him at Arsenal, you know. But, you know, I get what you're saying. Phillips' loan was also good, surprisingly. It was good for him in terms of, like, developing his more defensive side. But in terms of, you know, how we play football and playing out from the back, he didn't really have that potential, unfortunately, because Plymouth played what you would all consider Conte ball under Ian Foster. And then obviously then the director of football was the manager for a bit, which was just amazing, obviously. And that's why I think Devine will be out on loan, but to a team that actually can play football. Lankshear loan to Middlesbrough would be good. The thing is, I'm happy with him going on loan to Middlesbrough because Middlesbrough, they get on the ball, they create chances, they're attacking. I have no issues in going out on loan. I want to see Skip at right back during pre-season. I think he works as an inverted fullback. I don't know if he's athletic enough because obviously with our fullbacks getting forward, they need to be, you know, good enough to get back. And Porro, Porro, our own fans, we love attacking our own players sometimes. You know, you can say, oh, I don't really rate this guy, but you know, I still support him. We've got people who literally sit there like this going, Porro's having a bad game. I better get out this tweet because I want to make sure that it looks like I've always been right about it. Instead of just going, he's had a bad game. You know, we move on for the next one. It's the same with like, it's Vicario after first game of the season. People were like, haha, I told you he was rubbish. And then obviously Vicario ended up being very good, which then you saw nothing from people. And then once a few corners we looked a little bit wobbly on, oh, here they come again. So I think Skip, right back, maybe, but I just think it's just time to move him on and get some other people in there. There needs to be a stable injury-free environment to get youngsters to play. Exactly, agree. As long as it's alone, agree, Michelle. Do you think Devine will be a first-team player next season? I do not. I think he'll be going out on loan again. We should get Chiro and Mobile from Lazio to help Richie score goals properly. I think Chiro's just past it. He's old, is he not? He's not very mobile either. John Ratcher, you need to be here for that one because that was class. Porro's still first choice. Oh, yeah, Porro will be first choice, that's for sure. Is it the Ndombele done yet? Near enough. Near enough, Eddie. I miss... Yeah, Marshall. Marshall's late, everyone. What's this? 14 minutes in, Marshall. Where you been, mate? Half the afternoon's gone now. Who do you think will sign first? I'm going to say Eze because I want it to be Eze. Right, I better end that poll, actually. So pretty much everyone thinks keep or loan. Nice joke. Occasionally, I am somewhat funny. Occasionally. Marshall, my bad. Yeah, well, yeah, you're bad, you know. If I say Semi Calixoi 3 times, will I summon him? You were thinking it, and look who he appeared. I can't see a 6 coming in with all the chatter that's been coming out of the camp. We better keep Skip. Well, Skip wants to move on for first team football, and I don't blame him for it, you know. Phillips' loan take is really good. He did work on his defensive and physicality. Yeah, yeah. I mean, the low block, having to defend shots, having to intercept, you know, in having to defend the high balls, yeah, solid. But the other side of things, not great, which I think maybe in the preseason this year, when he has ability to work with more of the first team, you know, getting half an hour, 45 minutes here and there, I could be on board, you know. Agree, get Eze wrapped up first. Exactly, Michelle. Exactly. Right. I've got some really interesting stuff now to talk about because I started this live, and about 30 seconds later, I saw some news on Atalanta midfielder Ederson, which a few of you probably go, oh, Ederson, he's the one that I want. So I'll give you a second just to compose yourselves, all right? More like Skip wants to skip away from Spurs. James, you and me and our puns are terrible, but fair play. Do you think Basuma is a big game player? Because Conte did not play him. I also see why he can't defend. He can defend, Clement. Conte didn't think he had the tactical ability to play in one position and not move 5 yards side to side. And I've seen Basuma in big games do it this season. I have. I've seen him against Man City play well. I've seen him against Arsenal away from home and play well and was probably the best midfielder on the pitch. I saw him at home to Man United and was fantastic. Basuma hate is something, but I rate Basuma. But I also prefer Basuma as an 8, to be honest. Opinions of the swap deal with Juve and them selling Duran to Chelsea. Yeah. Well, they've got FFP issues, and I hate the idea that FFP is becoming an issue that Aston Villa have to sell one of their best players just to make do. They're in the Champions League next year. They're a decent Conference League run, and they're having to punish themselves for it. I get, look, don't worry, I get sometimes you've maybe spent outside of your means, but it's not like they don't have the money to spend. They've got richer owners than we do. Ederson, I know, give me a second. If Ten Hag is back to Man United go huge on Eze, we'll be left looking. Cozy, they need to sell before they can buy, mate. Ederson is almost a priority kind of player if we can't get Gallagher. Well, right. Give us a second then, and we'll talk about him. So Ederson quotes himself came out, and he's talked about the Liverpool links, and he said, "I'm happy at Atalanta. My focus is on Brazil now. I like Italy, but I'm also curious about the Premier League. The only possibility to leave is if Atalanta receive a proposal, and then they decide it's up to Atalanta." That sounds like a player that doesn't really, want to move on. And I don't blame him. They're going to be in the Champions League next year. Another solid season with Champions League sort of eyes on him could get an even better, move. I wouldn't say it's outrageous, I wouldn't say it's outrageous. I mean, I like Ederson. I don't see it happening, though, but I do like him. I see more of a Fofana, Onana, Gallagher vibe, but, I just don't see him. I don't see him moving, to be honest. I don't. And it's not because Spurs were late or Spurs aren't good enough in the market. I just don't see him moving because I just don't. Because I've always said they don't need to sell. They will sell Coop miners and they'll have no money issues. So it's not like they have to sell because of it, Then why can't we get rid of Basuma? Because it's not like he's better than Højbjerg. He is better than Højbjerg. Annie, I'm definitely with you on the love persist, but it's not late. Just been listening, watching. Sonia, we all love Sonia. Get Ederson is more important than Eze and just 34 million. He'll be way more than 34 million, my dude. Way more. My view is go now, pay the release calls and finish the Eze transfer. Cozy, I like your view. I'll have to get binoculars to join you in looking at that view. I prefer Vifford to Ederson. Bold, Madzi. I wouldn't expect that. Good afternoon, Kulu's right foot, mate. How are we? Prachi will assist us in getting Ederson. Well, Prachi masterclasses, I am all on board for. You know me. Biss is potentially our best player. Biss on his day is potentially our best player. And actually, in the first 10 games of this season, he might have been our best player. Genuinely. I'm not saying he was before someone cries about it, all right? Ederson has a release clause, I think. I have no idea. But by those comments, it makes me think he doesn't, to be honest, mate, because they need to receive a good proposal and then they'll decide. That kind of gives me the idea that they don't. So there was that on Ederson. Although I got this, I saw this. I saw this literally 1 minute before I came into this, Biss can defend. If you look at his stats this season, Marshall, Biss can defend. But it's like this, right? Think of it as like a keeper. I am prime Gianluigi Buffon, right? We face 10 shots a game. I'll save quite a big chunk of them. But if I start to face 15 shots a game, I'm probably going to let 1 or 2 in over that 15, right? Basuma, people go, can't defend. Well, he can, because stats-wise, he actually can, which is ironic. If you're faced with 15 counter-attacks a game, Rice and Rodri don't stop 15. They don't. And as much as you may think they do, they don't. I've watched Rice against Spurs. He didn't stop us twice, and we were great in that game. Didn't stop us in the second half against them, because we were onslaughting. And that's fine. Rice is still a great player. Great player. Rodri, 3-3 away from home, 4 fullbacks playing at the back. Why is it we scored 3? You see what I mean? So they're allowed to have off days. They're humans. But if you're going to be under relentless counterattacks, what the hell is Basuma supposed to do with 15 to 20 counterattacks a game? You know what I mean? Now, he's at fault for some of those things. I will agree. And he's not perfect. But he is one of the least of my issues when it comes to this squad. At least he suits Ange. All right. There's other midfielders at that club that don't. But there's also way other players. Emerson's a problem when it comes to Ange. Maybe Ben Davies could be an issue when it comes to Ange. There's other players that I'm way more worried about. Biss in the first 10 games, maybe a believe again. And at the end of the season, he was solid again. Remember that Biss was playing through malaria second half of the season. Let's give him a chance. He's human. Stat-wise, Brennan is one of the best right wingers. Well, statistically wise, there was things that favoured him and there was things that weren't favoured him, Marshall. If I was the manager, I'd get rid of Skip, Lo Celso, Basuma, Højbjerg and get new players. Well, you're not going to get rid of all 4, mate. In the last 2 games, Basuma was getting back and he started gliding through the middle of the park. Yeah. And that's the thing. He had some up and downs this season, but so did, I don't know, all of the players. There was games where Mickey didn't look good. Romero didn't look good. Porro, Adogi, Vicario under the high ball occasionally looked a little bit worrying. Midfield-wise, Maddison wasn't always fantastic. Sarr sometimes looked quiet. Sonny drifted through games. It happens, we have 2 6s in Højbjerg and Skip who are more of problems. Yeah, well, Højbjerg's definitely getting moved on. Skip may move on for more first-team football. All our rivals are making moves. Are they? Don't worry, lads. Andrew's bringing out the broom. Yeah, sweep them away. People overlook the fact that Biss is playing through malaria. Yeah, I can't lie. I can't imagine that not being... I can imagine that not being fun. Confidence with Biss, scared to lose the ball. He needs to go for it. He has amazing technical skills. Yeah, he needed to regain his mojo is probably what I would sum it up as. Regain the mojo. We are cooking away. Right. Let's have a look at this. So I want to talk about this because a few of you mentioned him about striker, and I don't know if he's on the striker list at Spurs are keen on, but I wanted to bring it up because it has been mentioned. Girona striker Artem Dovbyk. Dovbyk is how you say it, I guess. Atletico Madrid in talks to reach an agreement to sign the striker. Contract's ready till summer of 2029. There is a release clause of 40 million euros, and Atleti are willing to pay it. So I think, with Atleti, they're moving in for him. And Savio, I reckon, ends up at City. What does that mean for other Girona players that that you guys are quite keen on? But also, what does it mean for, teams like Sociedad who are selling Lenormand and Atletico looking to grab him in? The money's there for Brian Hill. So, all these things, knock-on effects. Basuma doesn't perform against the top team. That's my frustration. Well, he was great against Man United. He was great against City. He was great against Arsenal. He was pretty good against Liverpool. I'm not sure what you mean, mate. We need less players who want to be fashion models. That's why we're soft. Have we got fashion models? We moved off Dele Alli, but I don't know if we've got fashion models. Dovbyk looked Haaland-esque in the match with Moldova, scored an amazing goal. It's Moldova, dude. I might look pretty good in the Moldova game, but I get what you mean. He is a good player. He is a good player. Also, apparently, Barca are interested in Mikel Merino from Sociedad. So again, money would be there to spend on Brian Hill. 400 million, please. CDC, mate, how are we? How was the day? Obviously, I know it's probably, 9, 10 o'clock for you. How was the day? Could AC Milan go for cash instead of Emerson? Doubt it. Doubt it. Emerson seems like the likely one. I think it's the easier one for Milan to do as well, because we would like to move him on. Son models for Burberry. Yeah, but Son's unreal, so I don't really mind that one. I wish I could model for Burberry. I think I'd end up modeling for Burger King, maybe. I could model for Burger King. I'd be fantastic. You mean the first 10 games? Well, he's great in the first 10 games, yeah. But then I think you're picking out one player who actually played well around the rest of the squads. You might have had one or two maybe that were really good. Might give you 3, but I wouldn't give you many players that were very good through that struggling period. He also missed time with suspension after that 10-game spell and had injuries as well. VDV would be a nice model, you know. Yeah, he would be. He would be. Can you imagine that? I need to get back for training and just skips the car and runs back to training. Madison, Son, Basuma all do fashion shoots. Yeah, it's what they do in their own time. I don't mind it, John. It's like players playing the PlayStation for 4 or 5 hours. It's their free time. They're allowed to do it if they want to. Lots of red cards in Italy for cash if he goes to Italy. Well, if he tries to kick out against Italian players, they'll know about it. Sorry, late. What's happening? Liam, you're late. We're 26 minutes in, lad. We talked about Will Lankshear. We talked about Emerson Royale's deal. We talked about Ederson quotes, the Atalanta midfielder. As well as that, we're talking. We've literally just finished up talking about Artem Dovbyk, the Girona striker, and Atletico Madrid being keen on the lad. And looking at it, speaking of Girona, they're selling. Is it Alex Garcia who's their left back, or is he a centre mids? Leverkusen want him, so that just came out from Romano 1 minute ago. Electrician turned up. That's just so rude of him. How dare he turn up to do his job? That's outrageous. Obviously, if you're new, guys, subscribe, drop a like on the video, get some more people in here who can tell me that I'm an idiot. Jota, you know. Bentancur's better than Basuma, but Bentancur's probably our best actual midfielder. And I've always been on that as well. Just need to get Bentancur fit. Once he's fit, we're cooking with gas. Well, I can't say that word, Liam, but yeah, he probably is. And he probably don't want to turn it up too loud in case I do say it, and he is. Sarr could be a great 6. I think he could be as well. I definitely think he could be. Yeah. Van Gogh, he set 3 times, he'll appear and he'll tell me how I've never played the game and have no ball knowledge. Just because I didn't like one player that he likes. Cool. Lads, if you weren't here yesterday, I had a person in the chat for about 5 minutes spam the chat with about 20 to 25 messages about how I'm wrong because I don't like Jota, who plays in the Saudi league. You should have seen it. It was incredible. But by the end, you know, it's when someone pesters you so much, you just give up. I just gave up, and he said, yeah, look at you can't even talk now. And I'm like, I just can't be arsed, mate. Life's too short. I said, let's sign. And then I think in the chat, then just went, yeah, let's sign Josh and just throw him in the reserves just for the sake of it, so he shuts up. He was with his agent, most likely. It was his burner account, Van Gogh, mate. It was his burner account. Right. I wanted to do some polls. I wanted to do this Emerson one, actually. I was thinking about it whilst I was at the gym, doing my cardio. So, right, to give everyone a heads up, this will be euros, okay? All right. So these values aren't in sterling, they're not in pounds, they're in euros. It's a little bit less. And this is the idea of what would you realistically take for him, okay? So what I want you to think about is not, I'm going to pick the biggest number because I want all that money. What would you accept if Milan were like, this is our max offer? What would you take for him, okay? Because for me, I would take 17 million euros, by the way. That's what I'm saying, all right? I admitted defeat. Oh, Liam, mate, I was just like, life's too short. I just cannot be bothered. I was like, I need someone in my life who wants me as much as this guy wants Jota. It'd be lovely. Can't believe we had an agent in the chat. Yeah, he was trying to hard bargain a deal to me and about 70 other people. I think the best 6 we have in our squad is Romero. Yeah, but Kev, this is the thing with that chat, this Romero chat. We've got a world-class player in that position at centre-back. We then want to move him out of that world-class position. For me, keep him in the world-class position and go and get a 6 that can help him. Because then you're going to be better for it than getting another centre-back. And actually, Romero might not be as good at 6 as we think. Afternoon, Philip. How are we? Another late arrival. Yeah, Philip, this is getting outrageous, mate. Getting outrageous. I'm joking, mate. I hope you're all right. Who do you think should be the new assistant coach for Ange? I think he probably just moved someone up the pecking order from inside his coaching team. Johnny takes 10. Johnny, I just think you're a kind of guy that just wants him gone, to be honest. Great streams. Cheers, Lustful, mate. How are we? You okay? Speaking of Euros, maybe stream FC24 Euro mode like Goldbridge. Is Goldbridge doing one? I used to watch his career mode, which was good fun. Him and his Burnley vendetta was great, but I didn't know he was doing one. Is it any good? 12 million, I'd take British pounds, not euros. So about 15 you'd take, Philip, is probably what the vibe is. 17, Clement, yeah. Afternoon, EZ, mate, how are we? 17 is reasonable. We'll take anything above 15 plus add-ons. I think Milan would not go over 20. Dean's just finished work. Dean, mate, get in there. Get in there, Dean. We love to see it. Matt Wells for sure. Could be a shout. Hug the Love Bear. What an account name that is. What's the lowest offer you take for Romero, Van der Ven, Udogie, and Porro? Well, Romero, I'd want at least 100 million. Van der Ven, I want an extra 50 million on top of that. Udogie, I want the same. And Porro, probably just underneath Romero. Yeah, it's fun, really. Oh, okay. I might have to give it a little watch, Van Gogh, mate. But like I said, I will create a second channel where we can live stream some gaming and have a good time and just sort of chill out. And it's not always about Spurs, you know. But that'll be something that I'm looking at today. All right, I'll give you an update at 7, hopefully. G'day, Chris, mate. How are we? It's dinner time in Perth. We'll be listening at work tomorrow. Whoa, nice. You'll have to tell me what's for dinner. You'll have to tell me. I agree about getting him on 6. Was just comparing it to having Sarr there and Dragoo. Yeah, I mean, I get it. I think, you know, you could even look at it, Kev, is like, you know, there's going to be days where Udogie can't play at left back. And you might have Mickey at left back, and that would probably suit. Because I think, Kev, you're probably looking at it as like, I want 3 centre halves to defend corners and stuff. That's kind of the vibe that I'm getting, and that would sort your situation out. And if I tell you what, if you were to go and get an Anana or a Fafana, that would help you as well. What's your ranking on what position we need to prioritize? Striker for me is the number 1. Striker. Hug the Love Bear. Do you want me to kind of give you more of a list? But I've kind of got striker, you know. $500 million for our defense plus add-ons. Yeah, do you know what? It's not even that far off it. I love our defense. I do. I just need some bloody players to give him some help when they're not feeling fit and things like that, you know. Lol, we are talking about players that Ange's probably not even looking at. Well, technically speaking, Ederson's been a player we are interested in. I only talked about Dovbyk because everyone talks about him in the chat. It's not someone that I think we're in for at all. Agate and Bentancur duo defensive mid look like petitive fruit. Did you mean say petitive fruit? Any new news, or are we just doing a normal Spurs thing? Sorry for the optimism. I'm about to sleep after an 18-hour day. Scott, mate, fair play. Scott, get yourself some sleep, lad. We talked about Emerson and Lankshear. That's some actual news, but get yourself some sleep, lad. That's a long old day. What do you think of the Stuttgart winger we're linked with? We're not in for him as much at the moment. I like him, but I don't think it's crucial that we go for him because we're pretty solid on the left wing. Evening, Lex, mate. How are you? Late as usual. 34 minutes in, Lex. How dare you? How dare you? Lots of reports linking to En-Nesyri. I don't think he's better than Richarlison. I agree, CDC, wholeheartedly. In terms of a 6 is our list. Ederson, Fofana, Nana. Is Koopmeiners still on the list? If I missed any glaring ones. Koopmeiners is going to go to Juve. The other 3 you would expect. Well, the second and third, Fofana and Nana on the list. Vifa's on the list. Off the top of my head, I don't have as many others that I can remember. Yeah, is 6 next up or is it left wing? 6. I don't think left wing's a concern with Sonny moving out there this season. So I think 6. Yes, Chris, chicken wraps. Love it. Chicken wraps, some salad, some sauce. That's all you need. If you get more in there, cracking. I like mushrooms in there as well, by the way. I do like mushrooms in there. Even, I mean, it's not probably not something I'd eat when I'm cutting and losing my weight, but get the mushrooms in there. Also, some chopped bacon. Oh, outrageous. I thought striker as well, but our wingers haven't been threatening enough. The way I see it, other teams would rather let the wingers have the ball. We need dangerous wingers, I think. Well, EZ, Sonny's going to move out to left wing. That's why I said striker. If Sonny was staying at striker, I'd say left wing. I think we'll go for a striker not appeared on any links like Pavlidis from AZ Alkmaar. I saw news on Pavlidis, but I can't remember where I saw it from. I did see news on him. What in the hell is this mistype, bro? I was confused hearing you saying it. I was confused as hell reading it. That's all right, Scott, mate. Take it easy. Get some sleep. I'll post a little short snippet, 5-6 minute video in a few hours' time. So when you wake up, just watch that so you get the idea of what's going on. Unless you do want to watch this, then obviously that's a different story. What's the point of Eze if he doesn't have a solidified position in the squads? Because he has the ability to be an absolute star. And he already is fantastic in his position. And if you watch him at Palace, he floats a lot. Emerson is 20 plus because lots of our clubs are linked with him. So you would go for 21 and above, Marshall, then. In order, striker 6, just striker 6, Eze, centre back, left back, right back. Yeah, I could probably get on board with that list, Madsy. Only magic mushrooms from me, I'm afraid. Kev knows how to party. Levy will push 20 plus million. Oh, Levy will push for loads more, but he also knows probably on this deal when to admit defeat and know when, how far you push it. Chicken wraps says it. Shredded cabbage and onion could be a vibe. Please no Eredivisie strikers. Eredivisie's fallen off. I don't think it's fallen off. I think it's had a slight rebirth over the past few years with, some teams doing better. I wouldn't say it's great, but you know what I mean. Fajitas, yes, Van Gogh, mate. We all love fajita. Damn sizzling fajitas. We need an Eze but on the right. I think Eze could play on the right if you truly wanted him. We're going to be early short of homegrown unless we promote youth work with what we have. Happily retired. Yeah, mate, Michael, we're going to be pushing youth in this situation. We're going to be Mikey Moore. There's going to be Tyrese Halls. There's going to be players that we're going to go for that are homegrown as well. Don't forget that Bergvall plays 6. Oh, I can't wait for Bergvall, mate. I really can't. Cannot wait for him. He's going to be so bloody good. In order, winger, right back, 6 striker. Wow, you've raised striker is low on your list because we should give players like Parrott and Lankshear a chance when Richarlison injured. Yeah, but I don't want to be going into the season relying on youth because Richarlison's injured at striker. I need an actual striker there plus Richarlison and youth. Garte would be great as a 6, as Enrique prefers Fabian Ruiz as 6. Yeah, I'm not as hyped on Agate as other people are. Plus, I also think he's going to be quite expensive, and he is also an unknown. We're talking about a guy who, no offense, can't start in League One enough. Whereas Fofana, who's probably like a third of the price, I'd probably go that route if I was going for anyone from Ligue 1. Andy, what are your thoughts on the Solomon and Spurs possibly a lawsuit? Well, obviously, I can't give you true thoughts of Ian Sonia. Don't want to get in trouble, if you know what I mean. But look, it's one of those things with Shakhtar. They want a fee for Solomon. They've always been on that hype. There was talks trying to sort that. They probably I would expect them to want about 5 million for him, and Spurs are probably going, not a bloody chance, lad. FIFA signed this off. I think if it gets serious, just give him Solomon back. There you go. Have him back. Sell him yourself. We'll give him to you on free. Sell him yourself. How about that? Why didn't we get rid of Ben Davies? He's an average player. Well, he is a player that we are happy to listen to offers for. Yeah. Eredivisie is falling off. Trust me. It's just one match without falling asleep. Yeah, I don't think it's as bad as you think. I'm not saying the Eredivisie is as good as like the La Liga, Premier League, Bundesliga. I'm just saying it's probably not as bad as you think because you're making it out like it's non-league football, and it's definitely not that. Sell Parrot and insert a buyback clause. They might do. I think okay, they'll probably give a chance to Parrot in preseason, see what they got. If they're not too keen, move them on and sell him. Kamagoo, mate, how are we, buddy? How are you? Just came back from class. Ooh, what was class? Elise says, why not? That's not for me. Oh, it is for me, actually. Sorry. Elise says, wide enough. He plays more inside forward. He'll suit the 3-5-2. Well, he'll suit Chelsea. That's where he's going. Good day. Sorry to be late commuting to work. Great way to start out the day. Just wondering if would you want Emerson 50 million off of Farn? I got a vibe that Ederson might be a tad bit more than 50. I like Ederson a lot, but I also like Fofana, who I think we can get maybe just a tad bit cheaper than that 30 potentially. Ooh, Kieran, I'll probably say Ederson for now, but if it was like Ederson was 55, 60 and Fofana was like 27, 25, 27, I'll go for Fofana. Davies, a decent squad, but yeah, decent. Any updates on Roden going? Any interest? Not right now, Philip, weirdly enough. I think Leeds will still be keen, but I also think Leeds are probably trying to find a way to sort out their own FFP situation because they've got a real dire situation, not Eric Dyer, just actual Dyer. And then maybe they'll look to go for that Roden deal afterwards. But, that's why Somerville's been linked to moving away. Archie Gray as well. Nonto. A lot of players in that setup, to be honest. I agree, giving back. Yeah, it's not worth the hassle. Bakayoko, Eze, Tony, Ederson, 200 mil. Right, let me work this out. Now, Barney, I'd probably say it's about 225. If you go Eze 60, Rising is 68, Tony and Ederson minimum 50 each. Ederson maybe being even more. And then Bakayoko is probably about 50. You're going to be talking quite a bit. Who's wraps on Burval needs to be careful. We don't set unrealistic expectations of the kid. Needs to be smart as development. Yeah, Persify, as I say, bleed him in nice and easy. Don't throw him in at the deep ends. 5-10 minutes here and there. Let him cook in sort of those under 21 games if he's not going to be playing. And then get him rocking and rolling. I'll be there for that. Eric Dyer's actual Dyer. He's pretty decent at Bayern, ironically. He kept Delict, Kim Min Jae, Upamecano out of the team. And he was actually all right. But I get what you mean. Pender, Edwards, Eze, Wiffer, Jacob Greaves, Vanderson would be my perfect window. Fofana will be free. What do you mean, Madzi? Does Ederson have release clause? No, I don't think so. Do you have any dark horse for transfers? In or out, Hug the Love the Bear? In or out? Tell me and I'll answer. I think they promised a certain amount of games to time. Yeah, well, they wait, not Bayern, Lex. It was Barca. They said that he'll be in around the first team. But you gotta ease him in. They won't be going, mate, by the way, you're starting the first game of the season away at Man City. See you later. No, I think he'll be bled in nice and easy. What do you think our starting 11 will be the first game of the season? Or Yuvraj, mate, you're going to have to wait. Let me have a chance to see some signings first. Because right now, it'll be something similar to what we ended with, Is Bakayoko that good, though? Looks overhyped. Solid player. I think he's a solid player. I think he'd be a player that would come out of the Eredivisie and do well. Aston offered by 40 in January and rejected it. Yeah, they're going to want 50 minimum. And actually, once Coop Miners is done, they're going to want 60 minimum, Madzi, I think Fofana will get sold, to be honest, mate, because I don't think they'll let it go. I don't think they'll let it go on and on and on. I rewound the video and saw Lankshear news and screamed, get GTFO. Yeah, I was kind of the same when I was at the gym and I was like this. I was on the treadmill and I was looking and I just went. And I felt sorry for the people. There's about 10 treadmills. They were down the far end and I just went, you effing what? And I looked up and they were sort of like, I went, you all right? Yeah, it would take 50 million plus for sure. In or out, someone said they could see Kulu going and it gave me some pause. Kulu, I think they'll listen to offers for, but their offers have to be serious. Like, it won't be 30 million, it'll be 40 as a minimum. Out, I think the only one you could say maybe is Richarlison, but again, that needs to be a really solid amount. I think we always have one or two signings this in the summers where out of the blue we signed someone. Basuma was probably the weirdest one that happened because nobody had any idea. We'd always been interested in Basuma, but no one had any idea. And then it literally, I said, I have a friend who within him and his two other mates, they run what I do here, but through Brighton. And we had gone to the gym, worked out, and on my way home, it hit. And we'd only been together. We'd only probably left each other about 10 minutes before that. I sent it to him, and he was like, "Where on earth has that come from?" You know. Afternoon, hit the like button. That's it. Bash the daddy, mate. How are you? And yeah, like the button if you haven't already, guys. Very much appreciated if you can. I need to end that poll. Sorry, it's been going on for 15 minutes. Wow, 66 votes at least. We don't need Eze. Eze is on the left. We do need Eze, in my opinion, Marshall. But we'll have to agree to disagree on that. Ito type, but homegrown. Then sounds good. Do you have a name in mind to Van Gogh? Selem, I think a little bit of me dies on the inside. Damn. Yeah, I would probably agree. So it would anger me beyond belief, you know. Why didn't the transfer window open 1st of June? It's just boring. Whoever come out with that idea. I couldn't say last time it was ever 1st of June. I think people always look at it as 1st of July because obviously there's still football that goes on in June. You think of the Champions League and things like that. Obviously, it opens in 2 days' time. And obviously a week yesterday, so next Tuesday is when we get the fixture list, which I'm buzzing for. I love seeing the fixture list and who you get first game of the season. When's the next North London derby, you know? We need to actually hit with Championship signs. Greaves and Gray would be top players with or without us in the future. I'll do a double and get Somerville and Gray. How about that? I heard that Eze deal is delayed. I think deals are sort of delayed anyway, to be honest, at the moment, DGAD. Teddy, mate, how are we? Bergvall would never play in the 20. He's too good for that level. I'm not saying, he's coming to do that. But like, for example, at the weekends, if he's not going to be needed and what have you, and we can get him 70, 80 minutes, it's not the worst thing in the world to do. I think Alfie Dirty from Luton is a dark horse, cheap and homegrown. I like Alfie. I do like Alfie a lot. And I think he would develop a lot in the Ange system. He's playing at a Luton team who, tried their best to knock it about. But in a system where that's all we do, I think he'd really develop. And he has no issues with whipping balls into the box. So if you get yourself a good striker who's a bit, in the know when it comes to crosses, we could be cooking. Rob Guest said we have no intention to sell, but a long list of clubs are looking for a loan. I think we'll be open to selling. I do, but I don't think we will. It'll be a loan because the guy was frying it. We need Eze 100%. Him alone adds so much depth. Well, yeah, I think we need Eze personally. Eze improves the squad no matter what is said. Agreed. Afternoon, Martin. How are you, mate? You having a good day? Will Lankshear. Yeah, no, I know you're talking about Madze. Eze replaces Madders at Euros. Enough said. Well, there's that. There is that. Kulu is more important than Eze. He doesn't work out 75% of the time. He fits unconventional mold. Kulu creates false nine. Roman forward. He broke Man City structure with a 100% passing rate. Well, Marshall, I'll tell you this. I'd rather Eze than Kulu. Apparently, everyone wants to wait till after the Euros to decide on future. I don't think it'll be after the Euros, but towards the back end of this month, for sure, I could see that being a thing. Where would Eze play for us? Because he's a class player, but I don't understand where he would start because he can't be on the bench. Well, as we just said, Scott said he took Madders' role in the squad of the Euros. So, but, right wing, left wing, in the midfield, In big games, Ange plays cool and conventional roles rather than the 4-3-3. In big games, a lot of times this season, Marshall, he didn't play him. He didn't start. He was brought off the bench, especially substituting on for Maddison, even though Lo Celso was on the bench and fit. I never understood that. Bergvall should be our 6. I'm tired of seeing Basuma jogging back. Clement has a real thing for Basuma. My word. Don't start being like that guy for Jota yesterday, Clement. We don't want that. Gray and Somerville offset by Rodin, 25. Gray and Somerville are going to cost probably about 80 odd million between them, Cozy, mate. At least. Eze 65, Tony 45, that's 135 for even sales, enough money for us. We got loads of money to spend. I don't have any issues with that. I love Cooley. Just want to see him click, and I wonder if he'd be better on the left, right. Yeah, when we saw him on the left, I wasn't really blown away by it, and I don't rate him at the 10. I've always been on that hype. I'd rather him at the right wing than the 10. Is Doughty more of not more of a wing back than inverted fullback like a Dogie? True, okay, and I think that's why people like Robinson as well from Fulham. They may not truly suit because they're more of the byline kind of guy instead of a Dogie will cut inside and things like that. So yeah, to be fair. Yeah, I saw that, Zay, from Rob Guest. G'day, me old China. How are we, though, good mate? We all right? Both deck in as is needed. Leaf Davis. Yeah, I don't see us signing Leaf Davis because obviously they got promoted to the Premier League. We don't want that. We don't think we're going to get that. Can we get Gray and Somerville and give Leeds, Roden, and pick of loans? Kieran, it's going to cost a lot of money to get those two. You're talking about 80 odd million, but I don't mind loans going there. A couple of loans going to Leeds, not a problem. They play some good football, Leeds. Not an issue with that. As I said, Decky just needs to find a position. Yeah, you did say that earlier, to be fair, Van Gogh, mate. You did say that. I won't lie. You were right. Kulu isn't a workhorse, but is very specific for specific roles. So is Arda Gula, so is Trent and Pogba like Kulu. Those are some rogue comparisons, Marshall, mate. Rogue comparisons. So yeah, I agree, Scott. I agree. They do need to commit to this window. I think there's a chance this window that we could strike some gold. And we could also strike when teams are unable to strike. But we gotta want it, Deck is a false nine, had his best performances apart from those first 10 games when he played on the right. Yeah, as a false nine, yeah. As a 10, he can't control the game to play as a 10. I've always said Madison's better as 10, and so is Lo Celso. Absolutely. And it's not saying that I don't like Kulu. I'm not saying that. I'm just saying as a 10, he can't control the game, Sunderland are desperate for a striker. One of our kids would be great for them. Well, yeah, that's not a bad shout. I mean, you think you got Lankshear, Scarlett, the Lees, Parrott. Yeah, it could be. Could be. Mate, Juan Roman Raquelme was criticised at Barcelona. Okay. Not sure what tree you're barking up there, Marshall. I'm kind of confused about that. Good night, all. Thanks for filling in, my evening, Andy. Persevere, mate. Sleep tight. All right, look after yourself. Liked him at false nine. Yeah, Zay, he wasn't bad there. But then again, like let's look at the teams we were playing as well. Let's just add that pinch of salt in. Totally. If this is the window to make a telling move, do you know what? Of all, if you're not gonna, if there was ever a window to do it, it's this one. This one coming, especially with the Kane and the Winks FFP money coming through. This is the window. And if they don't, I feel like we're missing another. When we were doing well, we were finishing second because people get too hyped on that Champions League run. We were sellotaping over cracks in the foundation that season. Not winning away from home. We were scraping through. VAR saved our backside against City. If we look at the season when we're finishing second, those are the seasons to go for it. One or two extra players, that was what we needed to go up that level. We didn't do it. And had we done it, we might be in a position right now where we're talking about getting in 80, 90 million pound players because that's all we need. But we didn't and we failed. But this is another chance. This is another like little window where strike while the iron's hot, Strike only if deals are done for the 30th of June and the Euros will be difficult. Only 18 days to go and it becomes free for all. Yeah, it will become a free for all from July 1st, to be honest, mate. True. I think any loans for our youth will need teams that play a similar style to us. Somewhat similar. You're not going to have every team that plays as similar to you. But if a team can get on the ball and create opportunities for strikers, then send strikers there. If a team, plays out from the back really nicely, send the centre-backs there, How much development do you think Kulu has room for? When he's in the 10, he does like his quick 1-2 touches. I just don't get why he never wanted to go to the byline like Johnson. He's scared of his right foot, but then told everyone that his right foot's really good. I don't really get that. Okay, night, mate. Great show. Really see some common sense here. 10 p.m. That's it, Scott, mate. get to sleep. Sleep tight. Each good game Eze has during the Euros increases value by 5 million. He has a release clause 60 million, and it rises to 68 with add-ons. That release clause is not going up. Sorry, until he signs a new deal, which we'll use another question. Uh, yeah, exactly. Just I don't know why Kulu doesn't use his right foot, because the right foot is actually solid, but I think he's so heavily dependent on just wanting to use his left because he's way more confident. But he does need to start using it, that's for sure. Another Aussie out. Hug the love bear, mate. Get some sleep. See you later, mate. I'll probably see you for the next stream, potentially. You never know. If not, I'll see you tomorrow, mate. All right. Yeah, release cost 68 million. So it's 60 million with it. There has it. Sorry, it's 60 million, and then 8 million add-ons is we don't know what it's for, but it's dependent on something. And people say he's not paying 60 million for Eze. We'll pay 54 million for Ndombele. He paid in total for the whole deal 60 million for Richarlison. So, Romero was around 50 odd mil. So it's not out of the realms of possibility. Just a couple more days till all the fun starts. Yeah, I think once the window opens, we might start to have a pickup, Are there any updates on the Ukrainian we were linked to Sudakov? I don't think they're going to want to sell to us because they want to potentially sue us over Solomon. Kjaer's essential pressing striker. Van der Ven on the left last game. Plays on the left for Netherlands. Pedro Porro. In a height, mate. You're missing potentially one of our best players in that defence, though. As much as we all absolutely love the idea of Mickey Van der Ven playing left back, he was good there. He's a much better centre half, and there's also a much better left back already at this club. Destiny Udogie. So whenever I see someone go, yeah, if you put Mickey on the left, you've got Jaguzian and Romero and Porro. I'm like, right, stop. Udogie. Where are you putting Udogie? Is he playing up front? He's the best left back in the league this season. Let's make sure we don't forget about him. He should be starting. He should be probably one of the first names on the team sheet, even, Sonny will be yours number one. Vicara is your number two. And I think Udogie might be your third. Genuinely, Homegrown in the England squads, 68 million is a fair 10 to 15 million? 10 to 15 million English, tax, How much for Brennan, even though I like Brennan, he ain't no Eze. Well, we paid 47.5 million. You're not getting anything near that at the moment, so he is not leaving. For sure. Right, a couple more minutes, and then I need to go do some research about how to take it easy, CDC. CDC, I know it's late for you, mate, so fair enough, mate. Sleep tight. Obviously, by the way, these people that are saying goodnight to me, they're in Australia and New Zealand, all right? So don't worry. They're not someone from England. You're like, why is he going to bed so early? They're from the other side of the earth. Yeah, a few more minutes and then I need to head off and I need to do some research about how to live stream some gaming to a channel so that you can all join me and mock me for being rubbish at gaming. How about we give them back Solomon for free and buy Sudakov? I'm not. Thing is, with do you know what? And it's not Sudakov's fault. Mudryk has completely ruined that idea for me because I don't like the term flop, but he hasn't been great, has he? And I don't like that. Who represents better value for money? Eze for that money. How much do we get Cole Palmer for? Oh, dude, he's going to be like 150 million now. What do we make of the Douglas Luiz deal to Juventus? I talked about it, okay, Chio, and I said actually I was really sorry for Villa because I don't think they wanted to sell Luiz, but they also have this FFP issue that they need to rectify by June 30th, right? You get Champions League football, so they finish fourth. They get Champions League football. They have a good, strong Conference League run. Owners that have got loads of money, but they have to sell. I don't like that personally. And what they're getting back is just not worth the money. Illing Jr., Weston McKennie, 20 million. That's rubbish, that. That is rubbish. I'd be fuming, to be honest. Johnson first for a first this season was, I think he was solid. So true. Mudryk, so much money for so little. Yeah, they got nothing from it, really. Luiz to Juve confirmed it's progressing, apparently. Otherwise, of the other side of the earth, that's it, Scott. That's it. my Southern Hemisphere brothers. So, yes. So, yeah, no, that's my plans for today. Research how to get some live streaming of games. I need to play. There was a few games you boys were talking about yesterday with like Assassin's Creed and Ghost of Tsushima and things like that, and games that I just don't play. Although I do have that PlayStation Plus thing. I don't know what it's called, where I can play loads of the Assassin's Creed, old school Assassin's Creeds for you pay like a yearly subscription of like 100 quid. I may, and this is ironic for the former former banker. I may have forgotten to cancel that before it came out, and I was like, oh yeah, that's another 100 quid gone. Mate, Sudakov is the real deal. Watch him at friendlies. Yeah, it's just friendlies though. You know what I mean? Like, I'm not saying he can't be good, Marshall, but you know, friendlies, Premier League, two different sides of the world. You know, how many clean sheets do Romero and Van der Ven get? Bear in mind, a scout of Van der Ven before we went to Wolfsburg. Ukrainian players are overrated. But do you know what, mate? I couldn't tell you. I couldn't tell you how many clean sheets. I really couldn't. Louise is also with female starlet Michelle Heyman. Don't know who that is. Or do you mean Alicia Lehman? Because he was with her for a bit. Doubt he will leave. Yeah, but also Juventus isn't. Thing is, like when no offense to Villa, Juventus is a sexy move, and they are starting to creep back up to being not what they were, but like at least being a relevant side in the Serie A again. You know, moving for Coop Miners, moving for Louise. You know, moving for Calafiori. You're starting to see the wheels spinning a little bit. And look, they're not Inter, but they've also from being where they were last season, they climbed this season. Motta, good coach, maybe takes him that next step. What do you mean the other side of the earth? Earth is flat. Oh, bold. Adogi can play one up in left midfield at Madison left wing. Where's the new striker and Sonny playing? Where's Eze going to play? Spurs and West Ham are interested in Tammy Abraham's Roma 125 euros. I hadn't seen any real credibility, Madsy, in Tammy Abraham. I don't think he would be a Spurs player. That's the one. I don't know if they're still together, Scott. By the way, this is really funny. You know, the US sports teams do this a lot. They do celebrity front row watch, where if you watch the Lakers game in the Lakers front row, and like Jack Nicholson will be there, and I'm like, we all know Jack Nicholson, legend, right? He's been a Lakers fan. He's always been a front row seat guy for decades. And then it's all these influencers and things like that, and they've got like 3-4 million followers on Instagram. And I'm like, who the hell are these people? Like, I could walk past them in the street and have no idea who they are, you know? And I'm like, who's this? Who's that? And it's like Will Ferrell. And I'm like, oh, I know Will Ferrell. I know that one. And then Jack Nicholson. I'm like, oh, no, Jack Nicholson. You know? So I don't keep up to date with celebrity news. I can't be asked for them. They're all awful. I'm joking. They're not all awful before anyone cries about that. No, I like that person. He's my favourite. I saw some links with Openda, but it seems quite any chance he's a signing that comes out of nowhere before. Wait, yeah. He could be. And like I said, we always are, you know, a team that does one or two under the radar signings that no one can predict. So how can Juve afford all this? Champions League football doesn't pay that much. They were relying on free chances last season. Well, they could have saved up their money. Okay, chill. They'll probably move off of a few players this summer. You know, Bremer maybe, Chiesa maybe, Rabiot they may not keep on because he's on 180 odd grand a week. You know, he's on a lot of money. So maybe that's how they do it. Ukraine were terrible against Poland. Didn't watch it, couldn't tell you. The Instagram model, yeah. Keep saying Son and Pender Johnson is elite potential front three. Well, you got elite Sonny. The other two potential, yeah. I've not seen anything around Tammy Abraham or anything of any credibility, you know. Is Eze signing delayed? Nothing's really happening at the moment. In reality, with signings, it's all a bit quiet. I think people just. I think once the Euros get underway and like pick up that head of steam, you'll start to see things come back out again. With Sesko staying, is Openda a priority? Yeah, someone has forgotten about the poll. Have I? There's not a poll up, or am I supposed to do a poll, Mr. Clean? Tell me what I've missed. This is where I'm supposed to help. I'm a gym bro. I'm a gym idiot, you know? I forget things. Is Sonny still elite? 25 goal contributions this season. Son will be sold. Eze hasn't signed. I don't think Son's getting sold. They always have breaks. Are they Ross and Rachel from Friends, Scott? Doesn't matter. I was delayed. Oh, here we go, Mr. Clean. Oh, here we go. Calling me out for not doing a poll just to say that he wasn't here and he was delayed. Wonder what that's about. Let's do what like this is again, we're talking about what figure you would sell him for. So don't pick the biggest one because you think, oh, I want all that money. Pick the one that you think it would be, okay? Oh. That one. Right. This is for Son. How much would you sell Son for? Okay. Because you all keep talking about it. And I thought the best way to do it is just to let you vote on it instead. I don't want Eze doing well in the Euros. Just want a straight run at him because if he has a great Euros campaign, we'll have competition. Bellingham and Foden, please bench him. Well, I don't think he'll start. If we sell Son, we better sign Kubo. If we sell Son, I might want something better than Kubo, to be honest. Kvaradonna. If we sell Son, give me Kvaradonna. If you don't know who that is, you obviously don't play FIFA. Kvaratskhelia. So I'm interested to see what you guys think of this poll. Because like I said, this is a how much would it take for a bid to come in for you to accept? More, it hopefully be Son's heir. Well, he's 17. Let's just see how he lives. I'm 28, you know. I'm too old. Sell Son. Take them words out your mouth. I'm not selling Son. It's just other people keep talking about, you know. 80 million for this situation, need desperately for next season. Yeah, I do you know what? I'm 100 plus personally. You know, still quite early in the Ange era. You know, we still need, you know, that great talent. And Sonny is still that great talent. You know, teams are scared of Son. They're not scared, no offense, of Timo Werner. They're scared of Son. You know, have you ever seen Kyle Walker whenever Son plays on the left wing? Oh, he does not move forward very far. He's like, I'm not like he plays against Vinicius, and he's like, you know, I'm not as like in terms of finishing. You know, I'll run him to the byline, but Sonny is tricky enough to like I will try and shoot, and if I shoot, I'm a miles better finisher than him. So do not let me shoot. That's why you can see him panic a little bit. I watched this stream whilst doing boring music practice. You're by far the most reasonable, level-headed, and clever Spurs fan on YouTube. Dionysus. Mate, I really appreciate a comment. It's a lovely comment from you, mate. Really do appreciate that. Those are sort of comments that make it all worth it for sure. We can easily sell him for 90 plus without Saudi. I'm not sure who would come in for him if it wasn't Saudi for that kind of money. If Saudi comes in, he's worth near Salah. Well, statistically, they had similar seasons, so yeah. If we sell Son, we'll lose goals, and the agent marketing, he's worth more than 100 minimum. Yeah, I think I didn't even take into marketability. I just think he's worth more than 100 million for what he means to Spurs. You know, a player is only worth what another team will pay. And Saudi might look at him and go, well, we think he's worth 70 million. As Spurs will go, that's nice. We don't. So see you later. You know, he's our captain. Don't forget Modric is also playing for Madrid next season. I hadn't forgotten about Modric. But yeah, he's our captain. Yeah, for sure. He's a global superstar. He's not an average footballer. Easily worth more than 100 million. Yeah, I'd agree. All right, let me have a look at this poll. Because I have 42% of you think 100 plus, 39, so quite close, think 80, which makes me think a lot of you think between 80 and 100 million would be about right. And then, yeah, 19% think somewhere between 40 and 60. Interesting. Very interesting poll, lads. I'm fascinated by your insights. So, but yes, so we'll be hopefully back. When we talk on 7, I'll be hopefully back with some obviously more news about Spurs and some transfers and things like that. I also will do a deep dive digging. By the way, I'll do a video, short 5-6 minute video talking about stuff we kind of talked about Spurs transfer wise in a short one, so people can kind of watch that. Also, you need to look at, you know, how the hell to live stream gaming so you guys can chat and watch me. We'll do it on a different channel. It won't be on Spurs' channel, this one. All right. And yeah, that's my homework for today. Son is easily top 3 biggest players in the Premier League. Ooh, big statement, you Raj. Big statement, mate. Less than 40. You're just trying to be difficult in a hype. Ten Hag wants Todibo and Euro for his defence. They will leak even more goals. French players don't do very well in physical league like Premier League. Euro is still very young, very, very young. Todibo, they'll get cheap because of the links of Ineos, but Euro's young, and I'm not sure he's ready for the Premier League at that age. Hey, guys, just back from the gym. What did I miss? You missed it all, Iqbal. You missed it all. Iqbal, I'll put out a video 5-6 minutes in a few hours' time talking about what we talked about in this video, mate. So don't worry about missing it. I'll put it out there, all right? AC Odyssey. Well, yeah, I might do some Assassin's Creed. Marshall might do. We'll have to see. All right. But anyway, guys, that is the end of the video. I hope you did enjoy this. Obviously, like the video if you were here, haven't. Subscribe if you haven't already. Share it with your friends, obviously, and all that stuff. We'll be back live at 7 talking some more transfers. And until then, everyone, I will see you all very, very soon. Take care, everyone.